back. My name's Ken Siggett, and today we're going to be dealing with electrical wiring. And today I'm going to show you how to strip out a piece of Romex, in this case a piece of 14-2. The 2 stands for the conductors and then 1 ground, according to the NEC. If you look over here to my right, you're going to see I have 4 different tools, a pair of wire strippers, a utility knife, a pair of strippers with the jacket size on them for the Romex, we'll talk about that in a moment, and then an actual jacket stripper. So before we get into the process, we always want to make sure that we have proper safety gear, so I'm going to put my safety glasses on. Okay, and we're going to talk about the different parts of Romex wire. This is what you use in most residential homes for wiring. Again, this is a piece of 14-2 Romex. If you have any plugs in your house, this is typically what you're running into. So what you have out here is called the sheathing. This is the outer jacket, if you will. If you look at it from a cross section, you can see the individual conductors in there and the ground wire. Okay, but what we want to take off right now is this white jacket along the outside. So according to the NEC, what you want to do is you want to remove this without damaging any of those insulated conductors on the inside. There's a bunch of different ways to do that, and here's what we're going to do. One way I want to show you is with these wire strippers here. If you notice here, it has the pre-sizes for it. That says 12-2, that says 14-2. I can actually take that and I can clamp that right on the outside of the jacket. And what it does is it puts that little score mark in there, and then I would be able to bend and pull that part off. I'll show you with a little bit bigger piece here. And what it does is it's able to pull that off, remove that outer sheathing, again without damaging the wires in and along here. That is one method to do it. The other method you can do it with is you can take this cable stripper right here, and if you notice there's a little blade right here on the inside. Okay, so what you do is you put that in the center of your wire just like this, and that little blade's going to go in there, and then you just pull back towards yourself, and as you can see here, it puts that little slit in there. You can then pull your jacket down, and then you can pull down as far as you need to strip out at that point. So if I was to remove the paper off the ground, again, you can see I'm left with perfectly good wires, no cuts, no nicks. I would be able to wire a device with this. I'm going to show you the way that I prefer to do it and that I teach my students. If you're not as handy with a utility knife as I am, both of these ways are foolproof. Again, I would recommend going to get the insulated strippers with the notch in it right here, or going ahead and having one of the cable strippers. But what I like to do is I like to use a utility knife. It's just how I was shown. What I will do is, again, you don't want to cut through the jacket, you just want to score it. So what I'm going to do is just score a little bit right here, and you can see I put a little line in it, if you look closely. And then I'm going to repeat that process on the back side. You can go around the sides here if you think it's going to help you. I don't find it necessary. I'm going to bend down, bend up, and then I go ahead and I pull it off. And again, same thing, nice clean line, pull the paper off, and you're all set. Okay? That's how you remove the outer sheathing. Now let's talk about these individual conductors. Again, this is 14-2. That stands for 2 current carrying conductors. As you can see, I got my black or my hot or my power, however you'd like to word it, my neutral, and then my non-insulated ground. So to strip off these insulated conductors, again, if you look closely at this wire, this black jacket keeps us from getting shocked. I could touch here, but if it was bare and I went to touch it and it was energized, I would get electrocuted. You take your strippers, you find the right size. Right here it says solid gauge wire, and I'm going to go up to the number right here. It says 14. We're using 14 gauge wire. That's the size of the hole. I'm just going to put it in at 14. I'm going to press, and then I'm just going to slide that jacket off just like that. It's very, very easy. I'm going to show you one more time. It can get tricky. Your first time doing this, you're going to want to wrestle. You're going to want to pull really, really hard with the strippers to pull this off. What you want to make sure you do is after you cut it, always give it a small haircut. Clip just the top off so you have a nice flat surface. Put in the right size that you think you're going to need. And if you look, I hold the wire here and then I push right here on the stripper with my thumb, and it slides right off. I'm not kind of holding it on an angle and trying to fight against myself and dragging along this copper and scoring it and scratching it and possibly damaging the wire. So that's really all there is to it. It's a very, very simple cut and dry way to strip Romex if you're ever working in your house. Again, I'm Ken Siggett. Safety first. Thanks for joining.